We are rolling out the best of bikes today. Road bikes, mountain bikes, a book bike, and even motorbikes. And all great rides end here at the Needle Lake Lodge with a coffee at the Fixed. We've got that all coming up in the next half hour. Join us for Go Sea to Sky. Welcome to Go Sea to Sky. I'm Nicole Fitzgerald. The number of ways you can travel on two wheels is endless, and the reasons for doing so are just as unique. Some people ride for exercise, others to clear their mind, and still others for award-winning wines. Meet the Fort Barons cycling team, where medal wins are just as important on bikes as they are on bottles. The best things in life go round and round for Rolf de Bruin.
At Fort Barons, we're really proud to be part of the Fort Barons cycling team.
A drizzly gray morning greets the Fort Barons winery riders as they set off for a ride through the Squamish Valley.
As a group of individuals, especially on days like this where it might be a bit wet, you wake up in the morning, you look outside and you think, oh, it's not looking so good. But if you've got a group of friends, it gets you out of the bed in the morning. Puts you out on the road.
I thought we'd start off today with a little bit of Fort Barons Chardonnay.
A wine tasting at Fergie's Cafe isn't a bad incentive either. Some unwind on their bikes, others with wine. This group does both.
We currently just took in our Chardonnay and about 17 tons.
Rolf has traveled all the way from his award-winning winery in Lillooet to host this special ride.
Rolf and the winery are very kind to us. They send some wine to us every year so that when we have our social barbecues and everything else, we're not drinking someone else's wine for sure. And they make a wonderful product, so we're happy to do it.
You could say this is the only cycling team in the world who is paid out in wine. The Vancouver Riders are an amateur group born out of a shared passion for cycling, headed by one of the Fort Barons winery owners. A small handful of friends have now grown to 20-plus riders.
Most of us are probably averaging 1,000 kilometers a month, so most of us are on the bike 5 days a week at least. We do a couple of big weekend rides, and then during the week we all work on our own to fit rides in where we can to try and stay in shape.
The cycling team echoes the spirit of the Fort Barons winery, which is also growing. A new tasting room was added this summer, as well as a Governor General accolade.
This summer we won the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Excellence in British Columbia Wines for our 2012 Riesling. The 2012 Riesling is the second vintage of Riesling that we've made with grapes from our estate vineyard, and we've always worked towards aiming at that level of quality that would be worthy of the Lieutenant Governor's Award. The last one that we have is the Meritage Blend 2012.
The Meritage is the clear favorite for this team, who, like Rolf, strives for excellence.
Fort Barons cycling team competes in a number of different rides and races throughout the year. The Grand Fondo is a fixed event on the agenda, and this year they came in third overall as a team, and which is a huge achievement for the team. And then a few weeks later, they competed in the Intrepid, which is a 3-day course. They competed either individually or in teams of 2. And we had members of our team that won first prize or otherwise on the podium. So like I said, there's a huge amount of dedication to be absolutely the best in their class.
The best of their class, both in pedal and palate.
I think just about everyone on the team is a member of the wine club. So at some point in the year, the door knocks, box of wine shows up, and it's like Christmas.
We're definitely looking forward to having the team at the winery next year, and next summer we'll toast with them in the new tasting room after a beautiful ride over the Duffy Lake Road.
Fort Barons award-winning Riesling can be picked up at BC liquor stores, or you can visit the winery itself with its new tasting room. The tasting room is open daily in October, then Wednesday through Sunday in November. Or if you want to taste something a little closer to home, Fort Barons will be hosting a winemaker dinner at Cornucopia at the Four Seasons Resort. Well, I just took up road biking this year and I absolutely love it. I love how I can step out the door and right away I'm exercising. Sometimes you'll find me riding up to Whistler Olympic Park or around Alta Lake or doing a few laps in Cadenwood. But wherever you ride in Whistler, you're going to be dealing with traffic, and that's why I signed up for this course at the Core.
Everybody should follow the rules of the road. You are governed by the traffic laws. It's for your safety to do that.
Today, John Block rides along Highway 99, one of the main cycling routes in Whistler. There aren't a lot of secondary roads in the resort, so traffic always comes into play.
It is probably always better to be on the right hand of the right line, but if there's debris on the right line, riders are allowed to be to the left of the white line, even a foot to the left of that, but I wouldn't challenge vehicles on that all the time.
This is just one of many tips cycling enthusiasts can learn from. John, a 7-time Ironman, instructs beginner road riding clinics via the Core in Whistler during the turning season.
Okay, we're going to practice some riding techniques. Here I have some cones set up. We typically do a 4-week, 4-time course. Each time is a little bit different. The first time we spend just in a parking lot, getting close to each other, riding close. Week after that, we'll get on the road and we'll start practicing some of those things. Week after that, we'll probably start riding up hills and down hills to get some uphill technique down, learning to switch gears at the right time. And then in the downhill, learning to go down really fast. And week 4, we usually try to put it all together.
Most participants sign on to prepare for the Whistler Gran Fondo. However, I'm just hoping to better understand my bike and pedaling techniques, as well as the rules of the road. There is no question who is going to win when putting a bike up against 4,000 pounds.
Riding single file is the law. Not only that, it's just safer, it makes everybody more comfortable.
And so we get more comfortable learning how to ride in a pace line, which includes spotting hazards and hand signals. John brings a wealth of experience to his clinics. This 60-year-old recently finished top 26 in the world in his age category at the Triathlon World Championship. He also completed his 7th Ironman this year, and the 2-time Xterra World Champion heads back to Maui to compete again later this month.
Of the 3 disciplines, I enjoy my time on the road bike more than I do running, and certainly more than I do swimming. I love being alone. I love the time just exploring by myself, traveling the distances. I've ridden my bike through Europe, I've ridden my bike across Canada, and I've ridden my bike south in the United States, and all those times are great.
This summer, John has logged 5,000 kilometers on his bike, riding from Cache Creek to Lillooet to Horseshoe Bay to Whistler Olympic Park.
Traffic's been really good for me all those 5,000 miles. I can't really complain about anything. Doing it by yourself helps a lot.
And these clinics will ensure you have that same experience, whether you're riding alone or among friends.
This clinic is wrapping up with the turning season, but don't worry, John will whip you into shape on your bike all winter long. Check out one of his spin ab classes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. at the Core in Whistler. You can check out this story as well as our full show in high definition. Just visit youtube.com/Whistler Shaw. Go Sea to Sky, we're your local voice. Coming up,
it's a bike with a box on the front that opens up, and we're able to have a movable story time.
Whistler is a biking town, so not surprising, so too is its library.
The following are proud supporters of community programming on Shaw TV.
Hairstyling and color services for Nicole Fitzgerald are provided by The Loft Salon. TheLoftSalon.com. Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe is fitted by Peak Performance. PeakPerformance.com.
1 in 3 Canadians know someone with Alzheimer's disease or another dementia. I'm one of those Canadians. September is World Alzheimer's Month, and the Alzheimer's Society of BC wants you to get involved. Use your creative ideas, your outstanding talents, and your sizzling passions. We make it easy to create a unique fundraising event or join in someone else's. Do anything for Alzheimer's and help support people with dementia, their caregivers, and research for a cure. Let's get started at anythingforalzheimers.ca today.
Welcome back to Needle Lake Lodge, home of the infamous Fix Cafe and my favorite vegan chocolate cake. I'm Nicole Fitzgerald. And gone are the days of the traditional library. Whistler is a bike town, so it's not surprising the Whistler Library is hitting the road, peddling out a very different kind of story time.
A bike. A human-powered experience. Legs energize the wheels into motion, pedals adventure new places to explore. A practice that is not so different from reading. Both are completely human-powered, only instead of the body, the imagination draws words off book pages and into an exploration of the mind. Books and bikes, the match couldn't be more natural or fitting for Whistler.
The Book Bike is a wonderful new acquisition we got last year. It's a bike with a box on the front that opens up, and we're able to have a movable story time.
Youth Services Specialist Laura Needlack sits behind the handlebars of this Whistler Public Library affair. Listen for her bell around Whistler Village, a sound that is sometimes mistakenly confused.
One of the first times I wrote it, there was a family of 4, and as I was approaching them, they turned around and they saw it and they exclaimed, "Mom, Dad, ice cream!" And then I said, "No, it's not ice cream, it's actually books." And they went, "Books!" Kids love books, but I didn't think that they love books more than ice cream. Hi, you guys.
This group of daycare children certainly lapped up every song and story on a sunny morning on the Whistler Library steps.
Jaws open wide and snap, you missed me. One of the books we're going to be reading today is called I'm Sure I Saw a Dinosaur. It's about a little boy who's trying to encourage more people to come down to the kiosk where his father sells ice cream, and he does so by dressing up in a dinosaur suit. And perhaps you'll see one too.
The Book Bike is a part of the Whistler Public Library's Hope for the Future.
Our new strategic plan that we've put out in 2014 is all around our new vision, which is inspiring wonder. So we want to be able to collaborate and connect and really engage our community. So whether it's our new community partners by being out on our book bike and being at their events, or bringing people to the library, new partners, and they're holding their programs here in conjunction with us.
Laura swaps her bike helmet for a pink guitar to connect with elementary schools in the Story and Song program.
It is a program, it's called Story and Song, so it's thematic and it's based on the curriculum depending on what's going on that month, i.e. for October it would be Halloween.
Values catch up with every meal.
It's been really successful. I love doing it. The kids are so responsive, it's so rewarding, and it's just kind of nice to have that outreach affiliation with the schools.
Choosing black or white, forget the gray.
Gone are the days of stuffy old institutions wound as tight as a librarian bun. Today's library is on the move, reaching out to the community with good old-fashioned, real-time connection.
Turtles get up in the morning, they always go swim, swim.
We really wanted to be out in the community and find people where they were.
A love of literacy can pop up anywhere in Whistler. Just listen for the bell, a reminder of what makes us human and can connect us to our souls, no matter where life takes us.
The Whistler Public Library has a myriad of storytelling programs. Mine and Rose's favorite, Storytime with Babies with Libby, every Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Public Library. It's free, and mom, dads, friends, and family, everyone is welcome. Next up, Wheels for a Cause. Bikes bring people together, and a very smart young man from Squamish realized this and capitalized on it to create an event to raise funds for Camp Squamish.
There were green bikes and blue bikes, single setups and doubles, t-shirts and leather jackets. Each rider was an individual, each bike was unique unto its own, but one thing united them: children like Brendan.
There's really something special about being in I'll call it a peloton or something like that, where you have a group of riders and they're all in one group and they're all heading up to one place and they're all riding for one cause, and that's to help Easter seals. So there's really something very special about that.
70 bikers signed up for the inaugural Brendan's Ride event that began with police escort in Cloverdale, then snaked up the Sea to Sky Highway to Camp Squamish, the inspiration and beneficiary of the fundraiser.
Camp Squamish has been part of our lives for the last 7-8 years, and Brendan comes up for a week every year. Not only does it give him a break and get him out to meet friends and new friends and old friends, but it gives us the opportunity to actually have a full week break.
Today, Camp Squamish welcomes riders bidding on silent auction items with live music to entertain the crowds. But normally, the Easter Seal Run program hosts 300 children ages 6 to 18 with mental or physical disabilities for week-long camps all summer long, a rite of passage for many.
Brendan is a fabulous kid. I've seen him grow through the years. He's so warm-hearted and such a nice kid and gets along with everybody. And we just loved having him at camp every single year.
I would just like to say thank you to Stephen Miller and all the rest of the fantastic staff in the office and in the camp. Thank you to all.
Brendan thanked Camp Squamish in more ways than one. He was the fuel behind this ride.
This year they implemented a $500 fee to offset the cost for the camp. So it's pretty expensive for the parents and the families to come up with that $500. So Brendan wanted to raise as much money as we can to help support those campers.
An exceptional young man and a graduate of Camp Squamish this year. However, Brendan hopes to return in a new role.
Now his goal and aspiration is to become one of the counselors here. So that's what he really wants to do.
A camper as ambitious as the fundraiser he hosted.
It is going to be an annual event, and we had 70 people here today, and we hope to grow it to 200 people.
Fundraising is absolutely necessary for us to run our camps. The cost of our camps are about $2,400 per child, and it's very, very expensive to run the camps. So any help we can get from a camper's family, from companies is absolutely wonderful and really helps us fulfill our mission and cause.
A cause people are only too happy to saddle up to.
Don't own a motorbike? No problem. You can donate as easily as turning on Shaw TV. Shaw will be hosting the 27th annual Timmy's Christmas Telethon on Sunday, December 7th. All proceeds will benefit Easter Seals. Squamish, Whistler, and Pemberton, you'll find community here on Shaw TV.
Coming up,
when you have a life like ours, which is really busy and it's going in 100 different directions, motorcycle just cancels all that out.
Davidsons and Dudes.
Join, book, go with Moto, Vancouver's only local car sharing co-op. What's car sharing? It's thousands of people sharing the cost and access to hundreds of cars. Car sharing offers a reliable alternative to car ownership, fits your lifestyle, and saves you money. With 300 cars, trucks, and even cargo vans, Moto offers the lowest rates in Metro Vancouver. And booking a Moto is easy, online or by phone. Join, book, go. Learn more at moto.coop.
Whether you're pursuing a television career or looking for a new leisure activity, we invite you to join the Shaw TV Volunteer Program. You can gain valuable hands-on experience and acquire skills ranging from camera to floor directing. We're looking for high school or college students or adults who are eager to learn. Shaw TV is currently accepting volunteer applications. Contact us today.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice.
Welcome back to Go See the Sky. I'm Nicole Fitzgerald. It's no secret that Squamish yields some of the best riding in the corridor. Pedal Magazine voted the town one of the best places to cycle in Canada. But Squamish isn't resting back on their laurels. Quite the contrary. This summer they opened a new skills park where the next generation of riders are having a blast.
We built this bike park as a way for young kids to learn mountain biking skills in a nice, safe environment.
The options are endless, a theme park of sorts for young riders and outdoor enthusiasts.
We wanted to build a place where the kids could come and ride and learn the skills that they really need to, so that when they do build up the strength and endurance to get out on the real big trails, that they can do it in a safe way.
With one quick overview of the park, it's easy to see why so many young cyclists roll into this biking oasis for a little fun on two wheels. This is their turf.
My favorite one is that hill over there because you get to go down and then you do all those bumps right there.
Rolling hills ready for riders of any size. This is just one of the many features at the new Bike Skills Park in Squamish. Built on the grounds at Brennan Park, it's the perfect place for athletes to gain confidence, learn new skills, and have a little fun while in the comfort of a place designed just for them.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! Yes! Woo! We have so many kids that are on run bikes and between the ages of 3 and 10. We want to get them in the joy of riding, and this is what's great about this facility. It gets them out here having fun.
Named one of the best places to ride in Canada, Squamish has an extensive trail system, but this new skills park allows young riders to build a strong foundation without having to climb through tough conditions to get there.
I like the bike park because it's nice because everyone's there and you can always see your friends.
I like to practice here so then I learn stuff here so then I can do it on other trails.
Several years in the making, the volunteer community-oriented project, driven primarily by SORCA, wouldn't have been possible without the support of the District of Squamish and many local businesses.
It's so fulfilling to know that all the work that we put into it is going to such a great use. I've had so many parents come up to me and say this is one of their kids' most fun places to be.
Cruising through the windy forest path or challenging their technique while balanced on a bridge, the area simulates exactly what these riders will find when they venture beyond the park boundaries.
Take this pump track as an example. I mean, if a kid can get the skills of cornering and pumping their bikes, they're going to be that much more advanced in the trails once they get there. And actually, not just advanced, but they're going to have more fun on their bikes.
And fun is what this sport is all about.
I like riding my bike here because roads are very fun to go over, very fast.
On this afternoon, the area is swarming with young riders pedaling to their heart's delight, but it is open to everyone, though you might want to go once these young superstars have headed home for the night.
Of course, kids are storming this new park, but everyone is welcome. Building a community of strong, skilled off-road riders is a benefit to everyone. Well, our Best of Bike show continues. Next up, Dudes and Davidsons, or Harleys and Hair Farmers. However you call it, it all boils down to good music.
Boy by the Black Keys. It's just a really rocking tune for my road trip songs.
Road trip songs. Adventures wouldn't be the same without them. Other favorites for Guitar Doug include Trucking by the Grateful Dead and Graceland by Paul Simon. A few of 3,000 tunes he and his sidekick, Grateful Greg, might crank out at one of their infamous Hair Farmer concerts. But today, the only road music the musicians tune into is the roar of their Harleys and the wind.
I never listen to music when I'm riding or when I'm skiing. I like to be really in the moment. And if I had cables coming out of my ears, or if I couldn't hear something my motor was doing, or the wind, or a raven playing, I would have missed out on something. And I like to hear rivers running next to me.
Harley Time is Doug and Greg's moving meditation. The winding road up to Whistler Olympic Park acts like a labyrinth, each bend bringing them closer to their centers. A breath from the craziness of concerts 365 days of the year. 10 shows a day for winter après, wedding and birthday sets into the wee hours, and star-packed stages from the Pemberton Music Festival to Burning Man.
When you have a life like ours, which is really busy and it's going in 100 different directions and 100 different people need 1,000 different things, the motorcycle just cancels all that out. It's an instant pause button on the chattering monkeys in your head.
The only thing these two grease monkeys want to chatter about today is their girls. True loves made of destiny.
Funny story, about a year after I bought the bike, I had it all ripped apart because I'm a relentless hot rodder and I can't help but try to make things go faster. And there's a gusset on the frame right underneath the tank. They stamped the date the bike was built. And that bike was built on my birthday. So I guess there's a 1 in 365 chance of that.
Each bike has morphed to its owner, a far cry from what rolled off the showroom floor.
I like connecting with the bike, so I do my own wrenching on them and my own maintenance. You have all the media of art involved in a motorcycle. You have sound, you have fire, you have engineering. It's got to be all very, very precise. You know, in the paint job, there's a lot goes into it. It's a spiritual vehicle.
On a drizzly day like today, Big Blue makes the pilgrimage. Doug's choppers only surface with the sun.
I've got 3 choppers. I've got a 1947 Harley Davidson. I've also got a 1958 Panhead that's being built in New York, just finished right now. And I've got a 1966 Shovelhead, the year of my birth, and that's called Om.
Om, the sound of fulfillment, the sound of freedom, something felt with the wind in your hair, farmer.
And that wraps up this week's Best of Bikes show. Whether human-powered or horse-powered, remember to always share the road. From all of us on Go Sea to Sky, thanks for watching.
HeliJet flies between Victoria and Vancouver day and night, rain or shine. Now offering free parking and shuttle service for passengers at all terminals. For flight schedules and bookings, call 1-800-665-4354 or visit helijet.com.
When he was only 16, Richard Pierpoint was enslaved in Senegal and taken to America.
All us men have sworn on this petition to fight.
You're an old man. The British Army has militias and trained soldiers.
I fought with the British during the American Revolution.
Take your land and farm it. Leave the Americans to us.
With respect, sir. I was born a free man, and I intend to die one. Your officers fight for land and money. I fight for my freedom.
Richard Pierpoint was one of thousands of black loyalists who won their freedom in the American Revolution. 30 years later, at the age of 68, he petitioned for an all-black unit that would defend Upper Canada during the War of 1812.